Booz Allen got to $1.2 million per month at the end of the first year. Prestige Labs got to $1.5 million per month by the end of the first year. And Gym Launch got to over $2 million per month by the end of the first year. And if you're under $1 million in revenue, I can virtually guarantee that basically everyone on earth doesn't know you exist. And so the first 4 hours of every day should be dedicated to solving that problem and going from obscurity to being aware. And so we do that by doing the core 4 more, which is you have to do more outreach, cold or warm, you have to make more content, or you got to run ads. But the thing is you don't need to do all of them. You pick one, you go all in, and that's what you spend your first 4 hours every single day on. Now, the reason that I talk about advertising more so much is that advertising is a boom, all right? And so fundamentally, if you think about a business, there are many things that you can optimize. So you can increase your close rate by 10%. You can increase your conversion rate on your opt-in page by 10%. You can increase your email follow-up. All of those things are optimizations. And so the problem is with optimizations, you can only go to 100%. They're capped. But with advertising, you can, in a very real way, 100x the amount of people who find out about your business. And one of the keys that small business owners get stuck in is they get in this little optimization mousetrap where they're like, I need to move this. Oh, I was at 10.1 to 1, and now I need to be at 10.2 to 1. It's like, dude, just get 100 times the leads and your business will grow. So this is what it looks like in reality. You're actually only advertising on one of 4 different methods, and the way that you're doing it is only on one slice of the medium, and then within that you have your tiny little quarter that you're taking up. And so the marketplace has so many different ways they can communicate using each of the methods of communication. So for example, if I'm talking about content, I'm like, oh, there's somebody else in my marketplace who's marketing on Instagram. Okay, cool. So there's that, but isn't there also other platforms you can do it on? And don't you think that maybe there's enough people in your marketplace to satisfy your business? Probably. The amount of times that I would have a gym owner, for example, who'd come to me and say, hey, there's this other guy in the marketplace who's now running Facebook ads. I'm like, you only need 200 people in your gym to be incredibly profitable. And right now, the last time I checked, you've got 1 million people in your city. And so you just have to get 200 of them. And so if there's 10 others or 100 other gyms that are advertising your area, even on the same platform, you still just need to get 0.00002% of that audience to just come to you. And so you think that as these people enter, you're losing market share, but the reality is you're this tiny little speck, and most people don't even know you exist. Eminem has responded to hate in 2 ways publicly that I absolutely love. So the first is that when Will Ferrell confronted him about some things that Afrojack had said to him, he said, hey, Afrojack's been talking trash. Do you have anything to say about it? And Eminem just said, who? And then Will Ferrell repeated the statement. And then he just looked at him and he was like, who? And he was like, okay, yep, that's what I thought. And so the first is, I'm so big, I can't hear him. The secondary is that you kill them with kindness, right? So you either grow so big that no one can see them or hear them, or you meet them where they're at on a different game, which is you play on kindness and grace. All right, so what do I mean by that? Well, when I looked at the highest converting ads that I had run, and I do this pretty regularly, I look for different components. Sometimes I'm like, what's the hook? Sometimes I'm like, what's the color scheme? What's the visuals that are being displayed in the first however many seconds? And in this one particular pass, I just looked at the grade level of the language that was being spoken. And the reason I looked at that, I think it was 1 or 2 election cycles ago, I had heard this research study that had stated that the president who spoke in the lowest grade language was the one that won the election over and over again. And when I heard that, I see presidential elections fundamentally as massive brand campaigns. And so I see that as they were able to communicate a message to a higher percentage of the population because they lowered the barrier to entry of comprehension, meaning more people got what they said. And so I made one of my big marketing rules clear, not clever. And so you want to take whatever communication is, look at your landing pages, look at your ad copy, look at the words you're saying in your content, and say, does a 3rd grader understand this? And the point that some people try to make as a counter is like, oh, I don't want to talk down to my audience. No. When you speak in a more broken down manner, you help the experts understand it more easily, and you help the beginners understand it for the first time.